meditation zone. If you're here for the very first time, if you're tuning in for the very first time, just a couple reminders. You're going to want to make sure that any cellular devices you have, you could either put them in meditation mode or just turn them in off position would be wonderful. For those of you at home, you may just want to do not disturb. For those of you at home, you may want to draw the blinds, close the door, whatever it is you need to do to make a comfortable space. For those of us here, we're practicing a stillness meditation, and as many of you know, we are a trans-denominational community, which means we honor the golden thread that is found in all of the mystical teachings at the mystical level of all the religions. And the golden thread shares within it, in its meditation practice, that it is communion with spirit, communion with the divine, communion with your higher self, and the eternal frequencies thereof. That's what meditation is. It is bathing or returning to the beginning in the eternal frequencies versus the temporal frequencies. It's letting go of space and time and communing in the divine energies. It's at its highest and greatest and best. It is deeply relaxing, rejuvenating, and inspiring. So a couple guidelines. All these traditions from all the practices around the world usually have an intention built into a meditation. Some people chant or do mantras or activations, which are simply activating particular frequencies of energy, eternal. Some meditations are meditations of visioning or inquiry, where you're opening to get providential awareness for a question you may have. And providential, of course, is just truth, capital T truth. Some meditations are simply just being in stillness and allowing yourself to relax, which basically this is kind of a combination of all of that. And those meditations sometimes have certain protocols that they ask you to do. Some say that you need to sit lotus style or Indian style. Some say you need to be completely erect with nothing crossed. There are reasons for those types of things. One of the main reasons, which we just cover through intention, is that all the channels and all the meridians, so right now you have channels and meridians that go through your organs, through your nervous system, that are delivering information and messages. They come down your spinal column and get distributed throughout your body. And the channels are bidirectional, information going both ways. Your emotional and your mental body also have channels and meridians that flow energy. And so our intention is that all the channels and all the meridians are open. So sometimes when they say don't cross anything because they feel like something is crossed, that it's cutting the flow, where other lineages say no, that's absolutely something what you do want to do because you want to intertwine the masculine and the feminine energy. We cover it all, like I said, by just having the intention that it's all open, it's all in balance. So there are the intentions brought forward by a particular meditation practice, and then there are the intentions we bring to it. I'm going to, as always, invite you to have the intention and join with me that this is going to be the most delicious, most relaxing, most rejuvenating, most insightful, most tranquil experience that you've ever had. You're going to allow yourself to go deeper and higher into that transcendental state of oneness and just simply being one with your holy self than ever before. So, those are some intentions, and we'll also set the intention that nothing will distract you. If you hear something outside, a loud noise or something, if you hear somebody clear their throat, if you at home hear something that's outside, we're just not going to let that bother us. When you set that intention ahead of time, it makes all the difference in the world. We're also going to set the intention that nothing inside is going to bother us. If you have a wandering thought like, what's for breakfast? When is this going to be over? What am I going to be wearing later today? What if you have a thought like that? No problem. Just let it be. Don't chase it. Just let it waft like a cloud on by. The rest will be self-explanatory. I will center us. And if you are enveloped in the centering, wonderful. If you go off wherever you go on your own, wonderful. If you hear every word I say, wonderful. If you don't hear a word I say, great. If you fall asleep, that's okay. It's all good. You can't mess it up. You can't do it wrong. All right. So with that being said, I will center us. We will stay in the stillness for a little bit, and then we'll come out in a wave of prayer. For those of you tuning in right now, again, this is our meditation service. Our music and inspirational message service starts at 10:30 in just about 25 minutes from now. We're going to go ahead, and I'm going to invite you, unless you choose to do this as an open-eye meditation, I'll invite you to close these eyes, open this eye, as we prepare to begin. As always, we begin by first giving ourselves permission to relax. Just saying to ourselves in our minds, I give myself permission to relax. As we invite, as we evoke, and as we allow the divine energies of peace, love, tranquility, and serenity, calm and joy, wellness and goodness, to wash over us, and to rise up from within us, knowing we have no place to go, we have nothing to do, except completely surrender into the deepest states of relaxation, rejuvenation, and revelation. I invite you to bring your awareness to your mind's eye in the middle of the brow, and allow the inner eye to open. No efforting, no trying. Just allowing the outer eyes to merge with the inner eye and allow it to awaken the imagination of insight. Some people may see colors, symbols. Some people may just see darkness. Some may see images, or an eye with an eyelid that opens to look around. Whatever you see, whatever you sense, just allow the inner eye to gently open all on its own. I invite you to bring your awareness to your left ear. Just feel the outer edge and the energy making its way to the ear canal. And now bring your awareness to your right ear. As we allow all outer distractions to fade further and further into the background, you'll begin to feel the outer ears merging with the inner ear. And we may hear the voice of providence, divine illumination, and only the truth. I'm going to invite you to bring your awareness to your crown at the top of your head. Like the dome of an observatory that is wide open with the gaze of the cosmos, I invite you to imagine your crown is everything softening and strengthening as the energy begins to rise into your lower belly and lower back. Everything returning to balance and homeostasis. As that energy rises from your stomach to your adrenals and middle back, and you feel a soft sense of brilliance, beauty, as that energy continues to rise up to your heart center, in the middle of your chest. And your heart begins to open and blossom even more than ever before. You can feel your spine tingling as the energy rises into your upper back, upper chest, and waves of freedom flood your shoulders. All density, all heaviness evaporating. Your arms flooding with light, palms and fingers. And you can feel that energy in your throat center, the back of your neck. Everything illuminating, softening, rejuvenating. And you can feel the energy rippling from your physical body into your emotional body. As the emotions return to their natural, neutral state of divine strength, compassion, and love. And we can feel the energy moving from our emotional body into our mental body. Waves of clarity dissolve creativity, and infinite brilliance. Each cycle of breathing, drawing in the eternal frequencies and expanding them throughout your entire physical, emotional, and mental bodies. I invite you to become aware of your human energy field, an electromagnetic field of energy that surrounds us about a meter in every direction. And at the top of your energy field, at the North Pole, you may become aware of your 8th chakra, your soul star, a part of our anatomy that lives outside of space and time. It carries passion, purity, oneness, wholeness, goodness, untouched by the temple. I invite you to bring your awareness down to the south pole of your energy field, the bottom, 10th chakra, sometimes referred to as your earth star. As you become aware of your earth star, your 10th chakra, about a meter or so beneath the bottoms of your feet, this is where we ground heaven on earth. We ground the eternal frequencies, and we know no separation between the visible and the invisible, the audible and the inaudible. And on your next breath, I invite you to inhale the eternal frequencies of beauty, peace, love, in through your crown, down through your heart, and all the way to the south pole of your energy field. Rooting, grounding through your feet, your central core, to the bottom. On your next inhalation, I invite you to imagine you are inhaling wellness, goodness, joy, eternal frequencies and their byproducts. In through your crown, down to the bottom of your energy field. Allow the holy breath, the breath of light, to flow through your entire being, that every muscle, morsel, bone, tissue, ligament, organ is feeling waves of vitality, calm, goodness, homeostasis. We take a moment as we allow ourselves to continue with the full breath, inhaling infinite eternal goodness down from your soul star through your heart to your earth star, letting go and allowing it to cycle on its own as we move into a state of gratitude. Grateful to know that no matter where we are, no matter what we are doing, the eternal is always back of all life, that which we call the universe, life, capital L, God, the Creator, whether we call it Jehovah or Yahweh, Allah, Elohim, Adonai, the Great One. We take a moment and we know that this power, this presence that is omniamorous, all loving, never once withholding, never once condemning, never once judging, never once blaming or shaming. The omniamorous nature of the divine only seeks to beget good, beauty, peace, love, joy, the eternal frequencies, and is stated in all the sacred texts around the world. In one form or another, we, each and every one of us, no matter who we are or where we're from, born in the image and likeness of the divine, beyond our personality, name, gender, race, zip code, diploma, beyond anything of the personality, there is a divine spark that only knows brilliance, that only knows good. We align, attune, and remember, we are one with as that divine presence. I'm grateful for our time together, knowing that just by relaxing, we have opened and allowed a holy frequency of home, bliss, goodness, to anchor itself, know itself, and express itself, given and received, received and given, to, through, and as. Our time now, the rest of this day, this week, this year. We continue to allow it to grow and glow, to expand, and lift us from glory to greater glory. And it is from a place of deep and abiding thanksgiving and agreement of holy receptivity that we simply agree by saying, and so it is. Amen. And whenever you feel ready, if you haven't already, you can open your eyes. And if you need a little extra grounding or balancing, some people get a little light, which is a good thing. You might want to just take opposite hand and opposite knee. That's the way to ground your masculine and feminine energies. And we are complete with our meditation service. We're about 4 minutes away from our music and message service. So for those of you at home or for those of you here, we're going to take a few-minute break. Restrooms for those of you are up there to the right. For those of you at home, you know where yours is. And we will resume our service, or begin our music and message, our inspirational service, in about 3.5 minutes.
I'm summoned. Fun. Yes, thank you. Somebody come up. Oh, yeah.
Center. Good morning. A lovely Sunday. Welcome to our Sunday service. My name is Paulette Smith, and I'm here to welcome you on behalf of our founders, Jessica Suslik, and our angel in heaven, Patricia Griffith, and on behalf of the board of directors of Soul Center and the entire community. Welcome to you there. Let's take a deep cleansing breath to get everything started. Wonderful. And now we're going to start with our Soul Center declaration. It's in your program, inside the front page, first page here. And we'll all stand and say it together. There is one life, and that life is God. That life is perfect, and that life is my life now. I am here to receive the divine message for me. I am awake, I am tapped in, and I am transformed. Thank you. Let's see. Well, we have a special guest in the house today. Angel Travis is here.
Yes. Okay, first of all, let's remember to turn our cell phones to silent. Yes. Okay. Soul Center's Angel Day is Sunday, October 8th, in observance of our beloved co-founder in heaven, Patricia's birthday, and in admiration of our other Soul Center angels, Alyssa Brown, Beth Morley, and David Odom. We will Allison Brown, I'm sorry. And we will celebrate our annual Angel Day, Sunday, October 8th, in their honor. And if you would like to pay tribute to a beloved angel significant to you who has made their passing, please bring a picture of them to service on October 8th to be placed on the front altar so we may honor all of our loved ones. New class, Mystical Origins of the Science of Mind. This 5-week online Zoom class begins Wednesday, October 11th, 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific. In this class, instructed by Reverend Keith, we'll delve deeper into our spiritual practice, affirmative prayer, and knowledge of our science of mind roots and agape ancestry. Visit soulcenteroc.com's event tab. Reverend Keith's daily affirmative prayer streams live on our Soul Center's Facebook page or Zoom, 9:30 a.m. Pacific daily, except Sundays. The link is on our newsletter or at soulcenteroc.com. A Course in Miracles with Apili Beckwith is held Tuesdays from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific. Join anytime throughout the year. Details are on soulcenteroc.com. And to stay informed about all of these center events and news, sign up for our weekly newsletter on soulcenteroc.com. And help us thrive by volunteering weekly, once a month now and then. Go to soulcenteroc.com, our welcome table, or see Birgit, who is not here. Someone will be at the welcome table. And for our 10-year anniversary, we're looking for volunteers to serve during our 10-year anniversary month in January. Please see Jessica, Roz, Stephanie, Angelina, or myself, or sign up at the welcome table. Soul Circles are here for you in person or on Zoom to grow together with others in this community by contacting me or emailing soulcirclesoc@gmail.com. And now, let's all sing our congregational song.
Go.
Good morning. All right. There was a time in my life thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know that the grace of God was so sweet and sufficient. Didn't know that the love of God was at hand. Now I can say, if you get to
My name is Lori Banks, and our reading this morning is from Your Faith is Your Fortune by Neville. Before man can transform his world, he must first lay the foundation or understanding, I am the Lord. Man must know that this awareness of being is God. Until this is firmly established so that no suggestion or argument of others can shake him, he will find himself returning to the slavery of his former belief. If ye believe not that I am he, ye shall die in your sins. Unless man discovers that his consciousness is the cause of every expression of his life, he will continue seeking the cause of his confusion in the world of effects, and so shall die in his fruitless search. I am the vine, and ye are the branches. Consciousness is the vine, and that which you are conscious of being is as the branches that you feed and keep alive. Just as a branch has no life except it be rooted in the vine, likewise things have no life except you be conscious of them. Just as a branch withers and dies if the sap of the vine ceases to flow towards it, so do things and qualities pass away if you take your attention from them, because your attention is the sap of life, which sustains the expression of life. Let us turn within. I am profoundly grateful for this simple message of truth from the reading as it resonates at my level of consciousness. And I'm grateful, so grateful for our community who loves and supports everyone regardless of their level of consciousness or their understanding or interpretation of God and consciousness. I love that our community never makes people bad or wrong and just holds a sacred space for everyone as they grow in their awareness. I acknowledge and recognize that God is omnipotent, omniscient, omniamorous, omniactive. And we are one with this presence. We are one with God, no matter what our understanding is. And with this wisdom, I bless our service today. I bless Reverend Keith with his always delightful message. I bless the music, bless the volunteers. I bless our prayer chaplains and our new Agape practitioners. Woohoo! And I bless each and every one of you that you receive the divine gifts that are meant for you, whatever you're needing and wanting. And I bless you that to take those gifts into your week and spread cosmic good for all. And it is with faith and trust and knowingness that I release this prayer. And so it is. Amen. So it is. Amen. Okay, so it's now time for our Agape affirmations. You will find them in your program and coming up on the screen. I'll speak a line, and then we'll all repeat them aloud together with sincerity and acceptance. Please rise. Everything I want, hope for, and desire is already within me.
Everything I want, hope for, and desire is already within me.
I am a divine dispenser of cosmic good, giving and receiving in God.
I am a divine dispenser of cosmic good, giving and receiving in God.
My explorations in excellence reveal the spiritual gifts within me.
My explorations in excellence reveal the spiritual gifts within me.
I am here as an advocate and architect of a kind and just society.
I am here as an advocate and architect of a kind and just society.
Soul-to-soul connections are the essence of my relations.
Soul-to-soul connections are the essence of my relations.
I stand in gratitude for this word made manifest.
I stand in gratitude for this word made manifest.
And so be it.
And so be it.
Amen. You may now be seated. And for those of you who would like to experience private, individual, and confidential prayer today, please join us on the porch and talk to anyone who has the blue shawl, the licensed prayer chaplain. And please, I invite you to come, whether you're experiencing a challenge or you just want to get blessed up and loved up and take that expansion.
You've been striking matches when you had wings to fly, and you've been climbing mountains with wings still to fly. You've been lost in the stories while your dreams wait to rise. It's all in your mind, in your mind. Well, it's a good place to start, 'cause we are just children and we're learning to walk. Oh, you've been looking outside, pushing on invisible walls, trying to hold up your pretty little house of cards. Outside for something that just isn't there. They are illusions that lies in your head. The greatest place to fall is inside your sweet place, your heart.
good afternoon, and good evening to those of you streaming from different time zones. Wanda, good to see you in Georgia. And Michelle, good to see you in Australia. And Charles over there in Kenya. And those of you who are in Northern California, good to see you, Deb, and everybody else. Welcome. If you didn't hear your name this time, you'll hear it next time because I like to rotate around. And even if you're those of you who are just right around the corner who decided to sleep in, good morning. Welcome, Soul Center. I'm Reverend Keith, and I am part of the leadership here at Soul Center. And I am here, I have been charged to say, wake up to your higher self. We are part of the Agape International Spiritual Center, which means we're part of the New Thought Ageless Wisdom Teachings. The New Thought Ageless Wisdom Teachings are referring to fresh thinking, inspired thinking. It's not that it's new, like, ooh, look at the new baubles, the latest edition of the iPhone Pro 15. No, it's not the latest edition. It's fresh, clear, inspired thinking, and it's ancient wisdom that has been around from day one. From the time the Big Bang happened in macrocosmic expression of this particular dimension, throughout all eternity, there have been the avatars and the masters of all religions and all indigenous teachings that have brought forward the absolute truth. Some have been persecuted, many and most have been persecuted, because when you incarnated into human form, if you did not read your user's manual, you might have missed this idea that you have free will and free choice. And free will and free choice is a real bugger when it comes to space and time, because it allows you to choose bad. It allows you to choose discord, disharmony. It allows you to formulate beliefs and stray from the truth. Now that is what free will and free choice does. Your higher self has no need for free will and free choice because it's always in the infinite eternal. And so we're here to navigate and understand how to enjoy life in the human experience. Your human experience, everybody shares the same destiny. It is to wake up to your divine self incrementally, sometimes baby steps, sometimes quantum leaps, to wake up to your whole, true, eternal nature as you're enjoying romping around in this amusement park called Earth. We are here to open up, and remember, as the theme of the month would explain today, as we're closing out the month, of generosity, caring, sharing, and sharing in a holy way. Everything in a holy way. We're seeking to do everything in a holy way, which means everything in a pure way, which means everything in a good way. We're talking about capital G good, not lowercase g good. Lowercase g good is predicated on space and time, and it's got conditions. It's good if it goes my way. It's bad if it doesn't go my way. Capital G good, if you see those t-shirts that say life is good, capital L life and capital G good is the eternal frequencies of life. There are eternal frequencies: peace, love, beauty, goodness, joy, harmony. Those are eternal frequencies of eternal life. And we are here to align with them, which means we're going to have to understand how the universal laws that govern the universe work, how your own cosmology works. You are a microcosmic expression of a macrocosmic brilliance, the entirety of what we call the kingdom of heaven, of nirvana, of bliss, of joy, of beauty, of everything you could ever need to know or experience as goodness resides within you. There is one philosophy in life, what I would say is pretty accurate, is that we're not here to learn anything, we're here to unlearn everything. Unlearn limitation, unlearn. That's when we see the little cute bumper sticker, let go, let God. That means unlearn, unknow, undo, and return to the beginning, because when there's nothing there impeding, when you've let go of all your beliefs that tie you to space and time, you will be in isness. You will be in spontaneous knowingness. And spontaneous knowingness allows you to move about the cabin uninhibited by any constrictions or restrictions of limiting beliefs, or any belief for that matter, because beliefs, according to my definition, dimension. A belief is something that ties you to space and time. Knowingness does not tie you to space and time. If you want to be in the world but not of the world, you will let go of all the tethers and all the ties and all the cords to space and time. And then you'll be able to enjoy space and time because it's fun. It's fun to experience the elements, fire and water and air and solids and liquids. All that good stuff is part of the temporal world. But when you allow yourself to be in the world but not of the world, you won't be bogged down or burdened. Burdens, we want to understand how burdens work. Today's topic is the burden of proof and truth. And what that means is that when you feel heavy or laden with burdens in your life, that means burdens are affecting you because there's a responsibility that you're unaware of that's weighing you down. It can show up as anxiety, it can show up as stress, it can even show up as constrictions in your physical, emotional, mental, and your body affairs. We all know in a court of law, when you bring allegations against something or someone, that means you're espousing something to be true, and a burden of proof is on you. So I'm asking you today, what are you trying to prove in your life? Most of us are subconsciously and unconsciously, as I did for many years, back when I was in the corporate world and up into my mid-30s, I was walking through life with blinders on. Oh, okay, that sounds like that's a song somewhere. And kind of sleepwalking, that whole zombie thing, that was kind of me. And I was living from my ego. Living from the ego, I worked my way up the corporate ladder. I decided I was going to use willpower to make it, and I did. And all along the way, I came across obstacles. I came across things that were contrary, but there was something in me. There was a willpower that said, go for the gusto, make it to the top, get that 6-figure salary, do all of that. And I did. I used a lot of willpower, and using a lot of willpower, it tends to lead to burnout. And so I did not know, under that guise of sleepwalking, being unaware and unconscious. To be unaware and unconscious means that you have beliefs. You believe the world is flat, or you believe the world is round, or you believe the economy is this, or you believe in whatever you believe in. I'm so good at getting parking spaces. I always get the best one right up front, right in the middle. I'm so good at whatever it is. I know somebody who affirms all the time, my body tempo is always regulated in perfect homeostasis. I'm never too heavy or too thin. And they really believe like their body's just in this perfect state of fitness, and it expresses as that. They're using the belief to their advantage in this particular equation. But the burden of proof, as we're talking about in the court of law, a lot of us are trying to prove that somebody's wrong, something's out of balance, something's not right. Some of us, as I was doing, I was proving that I was inadequate, that I wasn't good enough. I didn't know. If you had asked me back then, are you trying to prove that you're inadequate and not good enough? I would have been like, okay, crazy person. Because I did not know that my beliefs, I had unworthiness. Unworthiness is one of the most prolific experiences in the human experience. Feeling unworthy on some level. It can be 1%, 10%, 50%. That doesn't feel worthy of receiving good. Some religions and some espousings have suggested that you're born of original sin. If you really want to know what original sin is, sin being in the Hebrew Aramaic word of just mistake, you can only make a mistake when you have free will and free choice to choose something that is not of efficiency, not of goodness, not of wholeness, that is not of win-win. Greed that tends to lead to those mistakes. And original sin would be separation from the divine. It's the first time I chose to be separate from God, the universe, the holy presence, the omnipresence of God. That's all that is. It's just, I made a mistake. And there is no such thing as a sin that would kick you out and go to HEW hockey sticks. There's no such thing that you cannot be in in the beloved arms, wombs, and hands and light of the divine, every single one of us, we carry the fullness and the allness of the divine with us everywhere we go. You can't be born in the image and likeness of God and kicked out into a place where you're separate from it. You are born of it. You can never get rid of it. It is your eternal nature. Your personality, on the other hand, which formulates beliefs and personality traits and habits, that is part of the character you came to play on planet Earth. And we are here to remember that as the burden of proof is in life, what are you seeking to prove? Are you seeking to prove that God is all loving, all giving, all knowing, and flows to, through, and as me? Or are you trying to prove, subconsciously, unconsciously, that so-and-so and such doesn't work because, oh, they're this, and they're that, and I have judgments, and I have definitions that create separation from me and someone else. If God is omnipresent, that means the presence of the divine is in all of us. If I'm born in the image and likeness of God, and you're born in the image and likeness of God, then we're all one with each other. There is no separation. But the human condition, it really tries to tell you there's separation out there. Oh, there's those people in that country. Oh, there's those people on the other side of the tracks. Oh, there's that person that's in my family. Whomever it may be, we are here to dissolve that and begin proving the principles back of life. Principles and the laws that govern life are infallible. They work deliberately to bring forward goodness. All the laws, gravity, cause and effect, law of attraction, law of emergence, radiance, creation, all are conspiring for our good. We want to make sure that if we don't like our experiences, that we bring our burdens to the court of universal law, not human law. Human law, you might get some misery loves company type of experiences. Oh yeah, so-and-so, yeah, they're awful. Oh, they're selfish. Oh yeah, let's just shake on that and create more separation. No, we are looking for unity and oneness no matter what. I'm going to invite you, that's going to be my new bumper sticker. No matter what. The divine, no matter what. No matter what is going on in your life, you are not going to fall victim to the idea that there is something less than or something separate from my beingness. We want to make sure that we're moving into the burden of proof, which is not the proof of burdens. There's a big difference between the two. The burden of proof means it is your responsibility to prove the divine. The proof of burdens is what I used to do. I'm going to prove all the stuff that feels heavy and burdensome in my life, and I'm going to prove, and then you'll end up maybe like what happened to me. All of a sudden, all the people that I was separating from, closing this door and that door over there, and then you find out like, oh God, I'm so perfect and wonderful, but you've got problems, and you've got problems, and you've got problems. No, what am I going to do? Now I'm all alone, because everybody's just got problems. No, not you, not me. That's not the case. You have to bring your case to the court of universal law, where you are going to seek and find goodness in everything and everyone, and no matter what, you're not going to take no for an answer. The universe vibrates at yes. Yes is the primordial vibration back of all life. There is no in the divine. There is no in the temporal world, when you have to say no to separation and yes to unification. That's what we came here to do. In the dictionary, sometimes it looks upon the word burden as responsibility. And it is. So when we are saying the burden of proof, it is your responsibility. When you're looking at the word burden from the flip side, where it's the proof of burdens, then I'm going to feel the heaviness and think that things are against me. Your responsibility is to flip that. Sometimes you need to lean into someone. You need to lean into someone who can hold for you what you need to be held. You need that affirmative, uplifting, benevolent presence in your life, which is you and everybody else. And one of the first things we're going to do, we're going to have a pop quiz. But I'm going to give you the answer. The answer is seek and find good in everything and everyone, and cultivate with an intention that as we said in our affirmations earlier this morning, I am allowing all of my relationships to be sacred and holy. Then we're going to define what is sacred and holy, because everything in your subconscious has a definition attached to it. Sacred and holy means people in my life are nurturing and kind, up-leveling, affirmative. They listen. They're filled with capital C compassion that doesn't waver. They see me, they hear me, they know me. They can second guess my good. That is one of the most delicious experiences. Have you ever had somebody who's second guessed your good? They brought something forward for you as goodness that you didn't even know that you really wanted, and all of a sudden they do it. Usually tingles happen. Usually you get filled with like, wow, I've been like, somebody really knows me. They know I exist. They really know me deep. That's a beautiful experience, and that is not an exception. That is a rule at the level of your soul. The soul only seeks to beget good. We want to remember the key ingredient on planet Earth is that the mind, so your mind rules your emotions and your physical body. Everything you believe is going to cascade down and ripple out through your emotions, through your body, and into your body affairs. It's bidirectional, and by bidirectional, when you come into the world, sometimes you have to remember that you're not here to detect things. A lot of people are living as detectives in the world. So I'm going to be searching for proof of burdens, meaning that I am here and I'm having experiences and I'm detecting these experiences as though I've come into the world and these things are just happening and I have to deal with it. That is an erroneous way of viewing the world. The way it works is the mind creates the experience. Every experience that you are having is created by your mind. And it's not the surface mind, although the surface mind holds the power of choice. So I can choose to be like the little kid having a temper tantrum, and after they don't get their candy, or they don't get to stay out as late as they want, and throws a hissy fit and says, I hate you, and then you're like, oh, come here, I want to love up on you. No, no, and they want to push the parent away or whoever it is away, and you're just having a little inner hissy fit, a little abandonment issue, and my inner child is working its way through. We all have that experience from time to time. We have said, yes, I am going to be spiritually mature and move from detecting life to reflecting life. Capital L life. I'm not letting lowercase l life, which is where cause and effect, what goes around comes around. Oh, caveat emptor that, because buyer beware. If what goes around comes around, which is law, then we might as well be cognizant of what would I like to come around. Now, that's a very intermediate level of awareness where it's like, oh, what goes around comes around. The law of attraction. I need to be a vibrational match. Versus the law of radiance, which says, I allow my soul to radiate through me, and I don't have to worry about what I attract, because at the level of radiance, I can only attract good. Thereby, I beget faith. Faith is allowing ourselves to trust that no matter what, my good is here. And oftentimes, recently I was talking with somebody, and they had hit a milestone birthday. It wasn't me, my last birthday, last week or whatever it was, not a milestone. So I got to say my friend. There was somebody who hit a milestone birthday not too long ago, and they were kind of having that whole midlife crisis thing. Midlife crisis can happen, it doesn't have to be in midlife. Who really knows what midlife is? But it happens when you are overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed with something from the temporal world that seems very real. So they were at a particular point in their life where they had hit this milestone birthday, and they were in a career that they felt was flat, that wasn't going anywhere. they started looking around and using the grass is always greener lenses on their glasses to look out at life. Oh my God. And they were imagining as they were sharing with me, so at this particular point, they hadn't been married, and they were like, oh my God, and everybody's married, and everybody's happy, and everybody's hooked up, and everybody's together except for me. And having one of those kind of things, they were thinking that they were looking at people who had come and gone. So this person worked for a company, and she had made it up to a certain level in the company, and was making a good salary, and had great benefits, and it was nice, but she didn't feel like she was making enough, and so many people had come and gone from this company, and she was looking like, oh, see, they went on and they did this and they're doing great, and oh, he went on and he did this and he's doing great, and I'm just stuck here with hardly anything and not doing so great. The grass is greener effect, that's not what we're. Only way we use that is if you allow it to inspire you, and then we want to make sure that we don't let the ego take hold of things, because I've had people in these situations where they're like, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm just going to quit this and I'm going to move on to something else. What is that something else? I don't know. But I'm quitting this and I'm moving on to something else. The grass is greener over there somewhere and I'm going to go find it. Anybody who's ever hit a point in life where you feel like everything is caving or crumbling or things are working against you, it is a very natural human thing to want to get rid of something. Oh, this relationship isn't working, I'm going to get rid of it. This job isn't working, I'm going to get rid of it. 9 times out of 10, people who say I'm getting rid of something don't have a trajectory as to where they're going. You got to make sure that it's more important what the divine idea is of your life than it is what you're getting rid of. You want to make sure that you're keenly aware. Now, what happens if you come back to Scripture and the story of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden? That's where original sin, so to speak, would be the mistake. Because what happened in the Garden of Eden? Choice entered the equation. That's what happened in the Garden of Eden. And as soon as you get to make choices, you get to make erroneous choices. So we're all going to agree today that we are only going to choose that which is in alignment with the highest good of the calling of our soul in oneness with the divine, that is win-win for everything and everyone all the time, including that I will receive my good and I will circulate my good fully and completely with optimistic faith. We're all agreeing on that, yes?
Yes.
All right. We're up to, that was an 80% yes. Well, some of you were 100 and some of you were 70. So we're all in agreement with that, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And all of you live streamers too. Because I will tell you, when I did a study back in 2005, me and a whole bunch of other spiritual practitioners, we did a study. We had a group of 16 people that we were working with, and all they had to do is come in for 12 weeks, once a week, every week, and they had to set intentions, and they had to set a trajectory and go through some spiritual transformational exercises. And when they came in, we had them set intentions. We did not know at the beginning of our pilot program of this study, this clinical trial, we didn't know at the beginning, we just let people intend the way they intended. But as we were going through the 12 weeks, we realized that some people had namby-pamby intentions, and some people had verve and zest and zeal intentions. There was this one gentleman I'll never forget. He would come in every week and he's like, this is what I'm going. I'm going for a sacred holy relationship. Oh my God, and there's this position and I'm going to do this. And there was a healing he wanted in his body temple, and I'm going to allow the healing here. And everything was a 10 on the Richter scale. Then there was somebody like, oh, I'd like a soulmate. Oh yeah, I'm going to allow some healing. And do you feel the difference between the two? Yes. Now, we're not making bad or wrong. This is simply as all the kind of the guidance of life. You observe what's going on, and you adjust accordingly. That's all we're doing. It's kind of like if I'm gonna go bowling and I'm gonna win. And then I go and where it's like, I don't want to have zest, and I don't have enthusiasm, I just want to have a temper tantrum right now. I'm not in the mood to get to a 10 on the Richter scale of intention. I've been there. Then your intention is, you gotta back it up, put it in reverse, you gotta back it up and say, I am intending to have zest, zeal, verve, and enthusiasm for all of my intentions, and then you're gonna let it go. You're gonna let it build. You're gonna let the law of growth flow through you, and then all of a sudden you're gonna wake up one morning or it's later in the day and you're gonna have zest and zeal and verve. Yes, I'm allowing sacred or holy relationships. Yes, I'm allowing my prosperity to come to me and know that I deserve the best. And you're gonna get more and more clear, not on a temporal idea of what you would like to experience, but a heart-centered idea. Your heart will tell you what you're really looking for. Most people don't know what they're really looking for. The flow of the energy goes like this. Your soul sends the energy and the wisdom, the clarity, unobstructed and unlimited from your soul star to your heart. And your heart goes, wow, oh my God, that would be amazing. And then your mind goes, oh, I don't know if that's going to work for me, because it's going through the filter of belief. We are here to eradicate all belief from your beingness. We've heard in Scripture, pray ye believing. Really, it's pray ye knowing. I'm going to know the spiritual principles and truth within my own beingness. You have everything you need to understand it. It's already within you. That's why we meditate. We be still and know that I am. Your surface mind can intellectualize spiritual ideas, and that will leave you very unsatisfied. If you intellectualize spiritual principle or idea, and you don't actualize or spiritualize it, chemicalize it in your physical, emotional, and mental bodies, you will be left frustrated. I've done it a number of times. Not a fan of frustration. Not a fan of being able to, using willpower. I did the willpower thing, and I made it up the corporate ladder, and divine will, thy will be done is way better. Serendipitous, synchronistic energies are way better than coercive, manipulating, making things happen energies. That's what surrender is. Every mystical tradition around the world has the pathway of surrender, and it is our job to identify the burden of proof is on you. You have to prove that these laws and these truths are real to you. Because every avatar, every master who's ever espoused them, these and greater things ye shall do, doesn't mean you're going to be like, you're going to win the gold medal in the Olympics. You're going to get an Oscar or an Emmy or whatever other award. That's not what these and greater things shall do mean. It means you will realize the divine as you in full radiance in your life, where every nook and cranny has been exposed to the light. Sometimes people call it shadow work when you're shining the light into the nooks and crannies. The shadows are just your erroneous beliefs. That's all. They lurk in the shadows. And we are here to shine the light and bring them and expose them and allow them to evaporate. And we want to remember what it says in Scripture. You cannot put new wine into old wineskins. Because if you have the old wineskins, and the wine's been drank, and it's been sitting out in the sun, and it's kind of gotten festery and all that stuff, and then I go ahead and I put my new wine in there, the old wineskin is going to taint it. The old wineskin, the subconscious belief is going to rise up and say, well, yeah, that's spiritual cheap, but I don't know if it's going to work for you. And then you're going to devil little angel, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And you're not going to listen to the voice of the subconscious that would take you from your good. When you sit in stillness, when you allow your meditative practice to be pure and holy, when you allow it to take you deep and you touch the hem of the garment of truth, your next intention, and we're all going to be on this, is you will allow that to be no matter what. I can't tell you how many times people, yes, oh my God, yes, I'm going to allow this forgiveness for so-and-so, and oh my goodness. And then they go out the next day and they talk themselves right out of it, and nothing happens, and it's back to status quo, and it's back to resentment and unforgiveness. Do not listen to Providence. Providence will always take you to the highest expression. And remember that we are creating and detecting life, not detecting and creating. When you detect and create, you're allowing the surface world to influence you. When you create and detect, you are creating from source, and then you get to enjoy the blossoms and the fruit of the creation. That's the way it works. So if you're going to be a detective, you're going to detect after you create and allow your goodness to come into form. And you're going to remember what Winston Churchill said. With great power comes great responsibility. You have to have the responsibility that you're taking for your life is that you're saying, I won't judge, I won't condemn, I won't make wrong, I won't make bad, and I won't waver from the truth. Capital T truth, not lowercase t truth. A lot of people, my truth says this, and my God does this. Yeah, okay, have your moment. But capital T truth is eternal, and it applies the same for everybody. So you're going to allow that in your life. You're going to seek and find wellness. I want to seek and find proof of rejuvenation, regeneration, and that in God all things are made new. I want to seek and find proof. Show me wellness rejuvenating in my body, temple, and my emotions, and my mind. You got to say something like that. You got to get a little bit of a hissy fit in there. Like, okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to seek and find it. And I'm going to stay diligent. Diligent means I'm not going to do it once and think I'm done and go out and say, oh, everything should be rosy now. I made my one statement. You're going to keep doing it. As Ernest Holmes would say, we use in our vernacular the word spiritual mind treatment, which is prayer, affirmative prayer. But it works out well for the saying. You treat until complete. It means you keep praying, keep affirming, keep inviting, evoking, and allowing until it's done. And don't wait till you get to 80% and be like, oh, okay, now I can just get that. God is 100%. 100%. So you're going to find, as I was sharing last week in the service, if you had a platter, a silver platter that represented your life and it was tarnished and you started doing the healing journey and you're polishing and it's getting shiny, and you got this, the handle, the little nooks and crannies in that handle, the handle's shiny, and then all of a sudden it's 75% shiny. Are you going to take your 75% shiny tray platter of silver and present your food to everybody? Well, some of them might, but not us. Not us, not here. Our platter is going to be shiny 100%. And we're going to share the fruits of our goodness with everybody, no matter what. Even when somebody's rude, even when somebody cuts you off, even when you think, this is the main thing, this is the thing that messes people up the most. They have an interpretation of what they think somebody means by what they said or did. I don't know if any of you have ever had that. Somebody says something to you, it passes through a filter. They say, honey, do you think you could just, make that over here? Oh my God, nothing I do is ever right. I'm always doing something wrong, and you just blow up at this person. I just, wanted to make sure that, that the cord had a fray in it and it was about to blow up. Okay, so you want to make sure that you have divine right perception. If you have a reaction, so we've all heard the cliche, so if you're reacting to something, you're having a reaction, it means you're angry, frustrated, irritated, confused, sad, feeling guilty, feeling shame, or any of the other disempowering energies. That means be still. Do not make a move. Do not pass go. Do not collect your 200 until you have sat and said, Bring me the truth about this situation. Now, most people will have a reaction instead of a response. The response and your responsibility is to be still. Now, that can be hard from time to time. And sometimes, and this is where we're going to conclude, sometimes you're going to be tempted by the grass is always greener over there. This woman that I was talking about, who was working in that company, she was ready to kind of jump board and jump ship to who knows where and for what. But she had a couple offers come in, and the offers that were taking her somewhere else seemed good because somebody seemed to care. It seemed like, ooh, I could move on to something greater. But she didn't sit and be still with it right away. She just imagined it was going to be better without changing anything in here. So as this happened the first time, and she ended up leaving this company, that was good, kind people, but what she felt was happening at this company was nobody was promoting her, nobody was loving up on her the way it was. It was okay, it wasn't awful, but nobody was lifting her to greater heights. That's your responsibility. Your responsibility is to capture the vision of where you're going and what you'd like to experience. If I'm not experiencing that on an intimate level, I gotta call it forward and allow it to be. So she went to this other company with the same beliefs and the same ideals and the same experiences, and lo and behold, after the honeymoon period was over, it was same old, because nothing had changed. No new choices, no new intentions, no transformation had taken place. So I used to know a guy who every year he would move. Every year. There was always some reason to move. And that was because it kept him busy. I swear to God, like clockwork. Because 3 months of, a couple months of packing, a couple months of unpacking, oh, new environment, and then all of a sudden, oh, same old. And then I'd find something, oh, I gotta move now because my neighbors are too loud. Then you want to get into what is it I'm looking for, what is it that I'm seeking to achieve, and take responsibility and make sure that you are not proving burdens, but you are allowing the burden of proof and take your responsibility to set you free. Yes?
Yes.
All right. Now we are going to transcend choice. We're going to transcend the temptations of the temple world, and we are going to live in the freedom of divine right choosing. And that is where we're going to move into the prayer field right here, right now. We invite you to join me. Oh, we take a moment as we move into a benevolent state of vulnerability. That means that, metaphorically, I come before the altar of the divine. The altar of God Almighty, which is the altar of my soul, which is the true me, which is infinite grace, infinite beauty, infinite brilliance. And I come before the divine, and I am ready to relinquish all lack and limitation. I am ready to relinquish all erroneous ideas, and I call forward the truth that sets me free. Divine right perception, divine right seeing, divine right hearing, divine right knowing is what I am calling forward in all situations, in all circumstances, and especially including self-love. Seeing myself, loving myself, knowing myself as God knows, loves, and sees me, that I may fully and completely understand what it means. That I am born in the image and likeness of God. That the entirety of all good indwells within me. That all gifts, all talents, and everything I need to receive my good, express my good, share my good, circulate and increase my good is already here. I am one with the omniamorous nature, the delicious magnificence of God Almighty, knowing that Almighty is Almighty good. We know that the universe that God has never withheld, never judged, never punished, that there is no such place as hell. There is only infinite glory of unity with the divine. No separation, only a unified field of ever-expanding good. I invite, I invoke, and I allow right now wellness in my body temple, in my emotional and mental bodies, in my body of affairs. I allow sacred holy relationships right now that share mutual beneficial reverence, kind, love, and respect. And I allow everything to go deeper and higher from glory to greater glory in my life. This is what I choose. I choose to be filled with a zest, a zeal, a verve of radiant resplendence in my life. That all my intentions are in alignment, all my choices are in alignment with the desires of my soul. And those are only that which is the divine idea of my life. Oh, how good it is to know that each and every one of us share the destiny of wholeness and oneness in our experience, and we share its immediate and immaculate expression in our spiritual DNA, in our bones. We open to the holy light, and we allow ourselves, this day continues to ripple with goodness, this week continues to ripple and roll with holy serendipitous experiences, this month, this year, this life. I rise, and as I rise, all rise. We allow that good in every nook and cranny, and we are only proving good in our lives. Oh, we relinquish the burden, and we allow the freedom of ever-expanding good. And it is from a place of deep and abiding thanksgiving, knowing that that which I desire and its fulfillment in its highest, greatest vision and version already exists in the quantum field in the mind of God. And we allow ourselves to attune, align with that, right here, right now. And so I let it be.
So I let it be.
And so it is.
So it is.
Amen.
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 Ashe.
Ashe.
Aho.
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 Mahalo.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Hotep.
Hotep.
And hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
When you guys clap, to me, it's not about me. It's like you're saying, yes, I'm accepting this. Yes, I'm allowing it. That's what at this particular time, I'm going to invite our ushering angels to come forward. Those are these beautiful earth angels right here, who are going to help us in our conscious time of giving, or that which we call tithing, which is participating in the law of circulation. And you know that the law of circulation follows the sacred symbol of the spiral that just spirals and gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And we are going to align our energy with that. We are never giving from a finite resource. We are giving from an infinite supply. And if you want to play with it, at least have the intention that what it says on our currency, in God we trust, we're going to allow to trust that it goes out and it returns to be multiplied minimally 10 times. There are many ways that you can, we are a 501c3 religious organization. If it's of any benefit to you, that means your donations, your tithes are tax deductible. So we're grateful for all the love streamers who got us through COVID and everything. We deeply appreciate you. And we deeply appreciate all of you in our in-person service. Again, if you're ever in our neighborhood from around the globe, please come by in person and see us. And the ways you can tithe are, you can text the word GIVE to area code 669-342-2157. If you've done that number before, you don't have to put the GIVE back in. If it's your first time, you don't have to put GIVE. You can also Venmo to @SoulCenterOC. Under the business, not personal. You won't find it under personal. You can send a check in the mail. It's in your program if you want to mail checks in, or it's on the screen. Hopefully you can read that. Or you'll find it on our website if you want to mail a check in. And for those of you who are here, we're going to have the baskets come around. If you see anybody put a blue butterfly in the basket, that means they're part of our auto type program. You're always welcome to supplement that if you choose to. And we're grateful for all of those of you who continue to contribute to our community. And I believe I've covered all of those ways, and I'm going to turn it over to Angel in the book.
Thank you, Rev. All right. I put a fire under my that talk was. All right.
deep gratitude knowing something wonderful has taken place here today. Something wonderful is seeking to express, bloom, blossom itself, expand itself in benevolent and holy ways. That is the nature of life, that is the nature of your life, my life. And we have chosen today, I only circulate good. And I allow that good to return to me tenfold. Whether that is prosperity or kindness or generosity, whether that is nurturance or compassion, I let it return to me brilliantly. I let the power and the presence of my great knowing that we are all one with the infinite glory of God Almighty. And therefore it is you Almighty, me Almighty, we Almighty, microcosmic expressions of macrocosmic brilliance. Oh, we take a moment and we know that the universe only blesses, and so we bless. We are the blessed, we are the blessors. And we bless this offering. We bless it knowing all needs are met for our community, for our new home, for all the supplies, all the space, all the bills paid in full and ahead of time. We know that we are flush and effulgent in our good, and as we know it for our community, we know it for each and every individual in our community and beyond. We see our community thriving. We see the world thriving. All mouths fed, all bodies housed and clothed. A world of peace is what we put into the world. We impress upon the world impressive energy. And we allow ourselves to receive in return our good. Spiritual selfishness is what we bless into the world. That means there's a win-win for everything and everyone. We bless this offering, we bless this day, and we give thanks, and so it is.
So it is.
Amen. Thank you, ushers. And I believe, I think we are moving straight in to our, just a couple reminders. We have chaplains available wearing blue shawls, that if you want to have a private, confidential prayer after service, go see, well, you've got a little bevy of beauties here today, and you can experience that. Even if you go out there and say, I don't have a prayer, just pray for me. I guarantee you're going to hear something in that prayer, you're going to go like, oh my goodness. So, give it a whirl. Any day, any Sunday, give it a whirl. With that, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to rise into our closing peace song. The words are in your program if you want to sing along with us. If you want to hold hands, go ahead. If you're not wanting to hold hands, just put them over your heart. That will let people know that you are loving them, but you want to be on track.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, God was all we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my song of vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin.
Oh, and we always begin at the beginning. We begin in the eternal. We return to the beginning, and we know in the beginning is the divine. In the beginning is God, and the beginning is the Word, and it is made flesh based on our speaking of it, infused with ever-expanding good. We take a moment in glorious gratitude, knowing something wonderful is only and always seeking to fill, thrill, and satiate itself brilliantly as goodness to and through and as our lives. We have been stimulated, activated, and are ready to expand our good. We allow it to lift us and propel us from glory to greater glory, proliferating joy, beauty, peace, love, prosperity, wellness, everywhere